Welcome to Inspiration Inc. We have with us a man who has changed the way India drinks water. We have with us Mr. Mahesh Gupta, Chairman of Kent RO. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on Inspiration, and it's a pleasure having you on this show because this show is all about inspirational stories, and yours is one of the very few inspirational stories of entrepreneurship in India in the modern age. But first of all, I would like to know that how did you think of this industry where you thought of doing innovation, creating your future, building your future and building your enterprise, because water in India was always taken for granted, and frankly a couple of years back nobody actually bothered about what kind of quality they are consuming in the name of water. So how did you think about this?
Well, Mihir, it all came by an accident. It's time 98. I had never used a water purifier at home. But
most people didn't actually.
At that time, most people didn't, but some very, very few people were using it. But when my both children, my son and my daughter, fell sick of jaundice, I came to know it's because of water. And then I decided, water quality is deteriorating and I must have a water purifier at home. Being an engineer, I'm a petroleum engineer. I was working on petroleum side. I said, okay, let me go and take the best water purifier. And when I researched and I went to market, I couldn't find a water purifier which could remove what is soluble impurities in water.
Right.
And I didn't knew that there's RO purifiers are there which can remove that. So I couldn't find good RO purifier in the Indian market. But having my own enterprise and knowing how to do it, I imported some components, assembled a water purifier, and I put it in use in my home. And then I realized that there is a potential not to make money, but there's a potential to serve people. And then thereafter, it's, I think, a history.
Yeah, it is indeed a history. But even at that point, when that was, like you rightly said, it was more of an accident.
Right.
And even if you saw, let's say, the potential in that business, did you ever imagine in those days that this product line or this business can be this big and it can actually become a household name?
Frankly speaking, I didn't. I started as a very small company, and I think within a span of 2-3 years since beginning, many times the idea came, why am I into this business? Because it was difficult to sell. The way I was importing components and assembling it in India, we were selling this product at 19,000 rupees in the year 1998.
Right.
Which was more than 3 or 4 times the normal UV purifiers available in that place.
Correct.
And having no brand of my own at that time, I was an unknown identity at that time. Going and convincing consumer was a big task. But only satisfaction came in because whosoever used our water purifier said, I haven't used something like this, so it's excellent. So I had never imagined in those 3 years when I was trying to say, okay, it's enough, let me get back to I was continuing my oil conservation business, should get out. But then something inside me told me, why don't you serve people? You are here not only to make money, you are here to serve people, at least people who are using this are being happy. And that is how this whole journey started. And then we started innovating on our RO purifiers. But I must say that I had visualized that it can be a big business. And I was the only company in the 98 when I named my company as Kent Ro Systems. So I put RO there because I thought we should make RO as synonymous to water purification. And I think it was my vision at that time that RO should be made popular at every place, so that people ask for water, they should say it's RO water, it's not a normal water.
Right.
And I think that's working now.
But how did you think of this name? Was it...
Well, I had a company called Kent Oil Meters. Started in the year 1992. So we are still making oil flow meters. Kent is a county in UK.
Exactly, and that's why I was asking.
And there was a company with Kent Meters Limited in Luton, and we had an association with them to make oil flow meter. But this company was taken over by Ulster Metering, and this is like a vacant name. And they said, I said, since I'm making oil meters, can I continue to make Kent oil meters? They said, yes, you can use it because Ulster has nothing to do with Kent meters.
Right.
And when I started in 98, I had this brand Kent oil meters. So I thought, let me continue with the Kent brand.
So if I was to look at your journey, should I call you a great marketeer who marketed a product which was, or marketed a category which was almost non-existent in India, or should I call you a great innovator, or is it combination of both?
Well, I would say it's a combination of both. And even innovation is not only in product, I must say. The innovation has to be in every field of walk of life.
Right.
And I did a lot of innovation in marketing as well. So if I make a good product and I don't market well, I don't think it will get success. I always tell as a marketeer, if you have most precious things, you keep it in your vault and you keep it locked. But if you are a marketing guy, you take out from the vault and then make it public. Unless you will do that, you will not be able to sell your product. So I think it's a combination of both, and that has worked quite well for me.
But can you share, some anecdotes from your early days? Because one, it was a new product. Second, it was an unknown company. So what was your initial experience on the market response, on, when you used to speak to your dealers or consumers? What was the initial experience and what was your key learning from those days?
I realized that it was very difficult to sell. But I made it a point that we are not losing money out there because I didn't have the deep pockets. So that's why it was price high. But to convince the consumer was very difficult. So most sales were coming from references. Suppose we sold 200 units in the first month or also first year, then those people gave references to their friends and other things because similar things were not available in the market. So penetration is still not heavy, although over a period of time we have gone very heavily into marketing. But then as I progressed, I realized in 2005, unless I'll make my brand popular and I'll go into some marketing activities, we will not be able to reach more people and will not become a commodity. The money was a constant for us to get into marketing, not that we wanted a brand ambassador at that time, but we had to bring the money to make a television commercial. So I like to share with you at this point. So I decided to have a brand ambassador, and we could zero in Hema Malini ji to be our brand ambassador in 2005. I had no money to make a TVC at that time. So I used her only in the print campaign for a year. And having used her in a print campaign for a year, then I decided, okay, now let me get into television commercial. And then we didn't have much money to go into many release activities. So we said, okay, let's do news to begin with. It's something which everybody looks at it. And then we realized then how to make it more popular. So a lot of innovation has been done in marketing activities by us.
But actually, how many units you sold in the first year of launch?
I would say that's about 200 units I would have sold.
So weren't you worried at that point? Because
anyway, I told you about 3 years I was worried. Many times this idea came to me, am I in this for this business? Should I quit this business and continue in my oil business? But then something from inside told me, no, we are doing good for the human beings. So let's make it happen.
There are two ways of looking at it, in a country like India, where you said even now, the penetration is only 3%.
Yes.
Actually, if you look at it, it's a huge opportunity. And on the other hand, it's a huge challenge that even after almost 75 years of independence, India is still on various parameters. If you look at health, hygiene, sanitation, water availability, there are a lot of parameters where we are still way behind ideally where we should have been. So you being present in that space and operating in that space, what is your reading? Why is this situation so alarming?
Yeah, two things are happening, Mahesh. One is Indian situation, one is the world situation. Unfortunately, everywhere in the world, not only in India, we are contaminating our water sources. Be it US, be it Europe, be it India. India contamination is much more because in our rivers we are also throwing the wastewater, untreated wastewater, whereas that doesn't happen in foreign countries. But let's understand this fact that whatever chemicals which we use in this world, which are increasing every year by year, all these chemicals burial is only in water. Even if you put it in the soil, ultimately it will go back into water.
Correct.
And the consumption of chemicals is not going down, it's only going up. And this consumption is creating contamination of water. And it's my prediction that now people say that you can go to Western country and drink water from the tap. But I don't think there you will be able to drink water after 10 or 15 years. Exactly. We are hearing very, very phenomenal things now. Recent findings in last 2 years is the amount of microplastics in drinking water. Whatever plastics we use, we wash our clothes. The clothes we wash, the small amount of microplastics come out of the washing machine. They all go into the rivers and they are never disposed of. They remain in the water. And these microplastics, once they will go into your body, will going to create a lot of problems. So these are the issues which are futuristic issues in front of us. As a mankind, we have deteriorated our water, we have deteriorated our air, and it's a challenge for all as a human mankind. It's a challenge to all of us to see that we are able to reduce this degradation, and if degradation happens, how to take care of them so that you remain healthy.
I have spoken to a lot of founders and entrepreneurs on this show and in different programs also. Often what happens is when you succeed in one particular vertical or a category, then you tend to focus more on that and expand that business or expand that vertical. But in case of Kent, what we have observed is that you have also ventured into newer categories, and somewhere if we look at it, your focus is somewhere connected to the day-to-day life of a common man. You know, all the products that you have, be it air purifier or a water purifier or a fruit and vegetable purifier, all these things. So are you trying to somewhere be present in every household and in every common Indian's life by some or the other category in which you are?
Absolutely. We started on water purifier. As we moved along, I changed my vision and I have set Kent a house of purity. So I want to do something which helps for purity in a home. And in a purity of home, when I talk, then I look at water, I look at air, I look at food, and I look at that. At least these are the areas which touch the health of the people. And every human being has a right to get clean air, clean water, clean food. So I'm trying to work in that space now.
But what was the inflection point for Kentaro?
I would say the 2005 when we hired Hema Malini as our brand ambassador. And similar time we introduced in 2006 a new product which is called mineral RO purifiers, in which we innovated the technology which is our patent. And both these combined together and release of our advertisements made more popular products, and we could reach to more number of people. And since then we have been growing continuously year on year basis.
But in the early days of your business, what were the biggest challenges for you? Was it convincing a consumer to go ahead and buy or try your product? Was it convincing the dealership network actually to sort of support your product? Or was it innovation? What was the biggest challenge?
I think biggest challenge was that how to convince a dealer to keep my products. And I would say till 2004 and 5 our major sales were coming from direct marketing. So we had hired few executives, they used to go house to house and try to sell. I could not place my product into the retail network because they had never confidence in me. They would think that I am a fly-by-night operator, I may be not available tomorrow. If they spend 20,000 rupees and I am not able to service, then who will service them? These people play safe. And it's very natural. Because whatever sells, whatever a consumer demand will come, they like to keep that and sell it. So you have to make yourself popular, and that's what we did in 2005.
Right. But today if we look at the overall business environment, and I can ask you this question because you started your journey when India had just started opening their economy. It was less than 10 years actually. And today we are at a stage where the whole world looks upon India as the fastest growing economy. Was it more challenging then, or is it more challenging now in terms of operating environment for an entrepreneur? In terms of 2-3 things. One is the consumer behavior, second is competition, and third is governance.
98 was challenging. And I think challenges have little bit eased, but still challenges remain today. So that's the journey. More challenges in 98. Challenges kept reducing, but I won't say we are away from challenges right now. The problem is the consumers are getting more and more aware. What has happened in between this journey is a revolution which we call information technology revolution. The information technology revolution and the mobile phones and internet have drastically changed the consumer behaviors.
Correct.
And awareness. The way we need to market today is totally different than the way we used to market, let's say, 10 years back. And the consumer information, the way it flows now, is totally different than it used to flow earlier. But simultaneously, I would say in this period of time, competition has gone up tremendously. as the product has made inroad into the consumer mindset, number of people have come into the system. The quality is important at this moment of time, so how to differentiate, that's what we need to look at it. The economic situation is also changing a little bit now and then. So recently we have gone through two changes which have remarkably made a difference, is the demonetization and the GST introduction. So they have got little bit dent on the trade systems. So traders have got more impacted compared to manufacturers at this moment of time.
But we have still not recovered from that?
I think no. I think the problem is the little bit controls in the systems. The controls are becoming more severe. The general sentiments are going down. The traders are of the belief that so many inquiries are pending, and they want to play safe at this moment of time. And the consumer sentiment, because of the international situation right now, is a bit low. And these are the challenges in front of us at this moment of time.
Would you call regulation also a challenge? Because what I have observed is that India as a country has become very conscious about environmental challenges, but at the same time what is happening is because of sheer population size, we cannot afford to be over policing any of these verticals, because there is a question of basic availability even today for a very large part of population who is still living in rural or even tribal areas. So what is your take on that?
No, I totally agree with you. Over-regulation is a bad idea at this moment of time. You have to look at it two aspects. You have to balance it out. On one way, you want to regulate for environment concerns. Second thing is you need to understand the consumer health as well. If once you have deteriorated your water, either you improve your situation first, you give them a clean drinking water from your tap or from the rivers, and then you regulate. But if you are not able to give that, so is health more important or regulation more important? That's the dilemma which one has to face. But I would say you have to take care of the fire first. Your health is a big concern today. The millions of people die because of the impure drinking water. The government of India has presented a report, Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi's report in 2014 in the parliament, where they have said lakhs of people die because of impurities in drinking water. And if you don't take care of this water, then this is going to continue a problem. But our rivers have not improved. The government has spent huge amount of money on Ganga rejuvenation or on Yamuna rejuvenation, and other rivers, this money has not been spent because we don't treat the wastewater from the small towns and they go into river. So at least if citizens are going to take care of water purification at their home, and even if there is some discharge from the water purifier, the government should say at least the person is healthy.
Correct.
So this understanding has to come in.
So you do admit that there is a lack of understanding or lack of awareness?
I think it's over-enthusiasm by some regulating authorities.
So what is the way forward in terms of your aspirations, or for Kent, if you were to look at it? Because you are already present in a lot of areas which touches a common man's life. What are the new products you are looking at? Where you want to see Kent maybe 10 years down the line? You have already covered more than 20 years of journey. But what happens in next 20 years?
I don't know what will happen in next 20 years, but my vision is from 3% penetration, we must reach to 10% penetration at least. And my next vision is not only in India, I need to go to different parts of the world. And people are waiting there. They are also suffering. We can look at the Asian countries, we can look at the African countries, we can look at even American areas.
Any new products that you are looking at?
Yes, I am looking at many products into the house of purity. The air purifier we have already introduced, which is PM 2.5 particulate concentration. But the problem in air is not only particulate matter. The problem in air is like we two are sitting in this room, and suppose somebody comes in and has an infection, and that he's going to leave that infection in the room.
Right.
Today you go to doctors and doctors say, oh, don't stay in the hospital, please get out from here because the air is contaminated here. Even they are not able to treat the air. So we have found a very innovative solution that to kill the infection in a room. So we'll be coming out with this product, and it's under testing. And once it is launched, I think it will take care of a great requirement of people to keep them healthy in the air purification space.
Apart from these products, because I believe they are quite close to launch, any other products that you are looking at?
Well, we have just now innovated on a new product which just launched. This is a Kent Cam Eye. So it's a camera which we have launched, totally different than the health field, but again, basically security. At the moment, we were providing security of water and air. Now we want to provide security for the mankind, especially women traveling in the cars and in the public places. It's a big concern of the safety. So we provide this camera, which is with a 4G SIM. You can see puts all the video on the cloud, and anybody can see. So it's basically prevention, so that no adventurous activities is done by the driver or by any inhabitant. That's what we are trying to do. And we are also putting in artificial intelligence into this device, so that if a driver is driving and he is feeling sleepy or he is feeling under alcohol influence, it can detect automatically and give a warning to put the vehicle on the side, so it can stop accidents on the road.
But you know, you have covered a lot of distance, and that too in a category which was non-existent. Any decisions that you really regret?
Well, only decision I regret is I could have moved faster. Because I've taken 20 years to reach here. In a modern world, it's too much of a time. And I played very safe in the sense that my company is only owned by me. I've never gone on private equity or got on debt, so that I could move faster. So I think that's a drawback which I regret.
You know, there are a lot of people, especially the young entrepreneurs or the aspirings who are watching this show right now. What would be your message to them?
Well, I would say that India at the moment is in a very fantastic situation. India is going to grow to 5 trillion economy and the 10 trillion economy in a span of 10 years positively. 10, if not 10, at least 12 years. I think. So you think everything is going to multiply 4 times. I don't think when I started my business, I could visualize India to be like that. So at this point, they should think how they can start their businesses. And the businesses to start is not only to make money, but to provide value to the citizens of this country.
It's true, and that's very encouraging. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you on the show, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.